Hey guys, so I wanted to show you kind of another one of my passion projects, if you will. This is my 2014 Toyota Tundra, and it's sitting here looking mostly stock, but it's not really, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to call this my stealth survival build in kind of a practical sense, but also in a ridiculous, I'm just having fun sense, and you'll understand that more as I kind of explain what I've done to it and what I plan on doing and adding. So we're going to start with the exterior, of course, and I'm just going to start with what we see right in front of us, which is the tires and suspension. So as far as tires go, I've got the Tundra Ranger AT. You probably can't even read that. They are awfully dirty. And just a side note, everything about my truck is going to be dirty. I am off-road with this thing literally every day for work. I work at a rock quarry. It gets dirty. It's dirty inside and out. So before you guys say like, oh, you should wash your truck or clean it, why am I going to do that if I'm going to go to work the next day and it's just going to get super dirty again? So these tires, I have stock wheels, by the way. These are the stock 60 offset wheels that come with Tundras and I think Sequoias. And these tires that I have mounted on here are budget tires. I really got these because the tires that it had on when I bought it were way too big, especially considering that it was stock suspension. They were rubbing, and so it had 20-inch aftermarket wheels and some really big tires that they were cumbersome, to be honest. And I threw these on here as kind of a budget option just until I decide what I want to do. I probably will go a little bigger. These are stock size. So in the suspension here, I have newly installed Eibach suspension system. This is their Pro Truck 2R. And let me tell you, it's all right. It does what I want. You know, it gives it a nice stance. Let me back out here. So I like the stance. You know, it levels out the truck nicely. I could probably go, it's hard to tell because I'm at an incline, but I could probably go a smidge higher. They are adjustable and you can adjust them while on the vehicle. You don't have to take them off. It's a lot easier if you remove the load from the suspension, but that's neither here or there. As far as performance goes, I think the Eibach it's okay. I've had Bilstein and I think they're on par. The reason why I went with Eibach is because people said that they were not as harsh as Bilstein, you know, but I don't really notice that big of a difference. And I will say right now, their customer service, Eibach's customer service, for me anyways, has been absolutely terrible. I had a minor issue with my order at the very, before I even received it. And they were just, I don't know, incredibly rude and did not want to help me at all. So I can't really say anything that great about them, considering that the suspension, it does what I want it to do, but I think Bilstein works just as well and probably even a little cheaper. This is my JBA upper control arm. Wasn't really necessary because I didn't lift it that high. I'm only lifted, I think, about 2.5 inches right now. However, I would definitely recommend these upper control arms for a couple reasons. One, they're more robust. They actually do make it a lot easier to align even with just a leveled suspension kit. They really tightened up the steering after I put in these this suspension. So I'm really happy with the performance. They are greasable. So you've got a zerk here, and then each of your bushings back there have grease zerks. So you can grease them as needed. They don't make any sound. They're awfully quiet because of that. The ball joints also, you'll notice these have 4 bolts there. That's so you can just pop these out. They're super, super easy to change out the ball joints if it ever goes bad. So I would really recommend these, especially over like something like SPC. I know that's a really popular choice, but because they are highly adjustable, but the ball joints on the SPC go out way faster than these. So I really recommend it. Now, I want to show you also, since I've got you here, these fog lights. They don't look like much, especially covered in mud, but those are the Morimoto Fog Lights. Here's that suspension in the back. It is the Eibach Pro Truck 2R, so the R stands for reservoir, and there it is right there. Again, I feel like I was expecting these to be a little softer. I spent a lot of time in kind of washboard conditions, and it's really rough out there. And so these really just, for me, they could be a little softer, but I'm not really complaining because it's still better than stock. Also on the back corner here, I have my CB antenna right there. And mounted here is really actually a cool mount that I really like. This is Rago fabrication. I really like their stuff. There's going to be a couple other accessories I'm getting by them. Not very cheap, but very high quality, and it's designed to really work well. Let me show you guys here how it fits. Just 4 little screws there, and it's very low profile, so no problems closing this. And yeah, really like that. Also on the back here, sorry for that bump, I have my solar panel. This is a, I think the brand is JJN 200 watt bifacial solar panel. So it can actually receive power from both sides. Obviously this is the main face, so you want it pointed up, but ambient and reflective light, it can actually gather, or if you wanted to put like something white underneath it to reflect that extra amount, you could. Let me tell you, this is a rather inexpensive solar panel for 200 watt especially, and I have pulled over 200 watts at times because of the bifacial feature. Most of the time we're hovering on a normal sunny day, 100, 150 watts, no big deal. More than enough for what I'm currently using for. And yeah, so now we'll take a look kind of at the inside here. So first thing you're going to notice is no back seats. I have taken them all out. And the reason for that is because I want more space to put stuff that I'm actually going to use. So back here we have our med kit. We have our belt cutter here and glass breaker, emergency use stuff. A little bit of paracord. Down here, this is my work stuff, so we don't really need to look into that. Have some water. There's some stuff I'm going to show you in a second. Sunshade. This is the battery. This is the DJI Power 1000 battery bank. Also really cool. Could not recommend it more. They've actually got a new version of this out now that is even better. But I really love this thing. For the price, I think I paid $600 for a 1,000 watt hour battery bank. Super, super good at the time, especially. I have another solar panel here. This is my MH Powos foldable solar panel. And that is for whenever I got to top off the battery or get some extra power going. Maybe I ran it a little low and I want to boost the battery charge. I just drop that out. I normally just throw it up on the roof. You can see we're at 99%. We're currently receiving 97 volts, putting out 41. That 41, I'll show you real quick. That 41 is for this fridge here. Now this fridge is a little dirty. Like I said, everything is super dirty. I use this truck, so I don't know what you want from me. But this fridge here is as you can see, the brand is Set Power. I don't think this exact model is available anymore. This is a 15-liter model. I want to say I don't remember. I did a video on it. It was less than $200 for this fridge, and I'm super happy with it. Still working great. Keeps my food nice and cold. All right, so coming back around to this side, and I'll show you what else I got in here. and then we'll talk about what I want to do. So we've got our little trash bin there. Inside here, of course, this is just the truck essentials. I've got a tarp. Always want to have a tarp. Got a funnel here with the long, so can fill multiple different things there. Down here we have some emergency road stuff. You got flares, a couple basic tools. In here we have straps, bungee cords, tie downs, anything like that. And then in here, which this one I'll actually open up, I have the Tack Life portable air compressor. And this thing has saved my butt more times than once. And even like, I have coworkers, and you know, like I said, work at a quarry, we're off-road every day. A lot of guys don't drive trucks at the quarry, they just drive whatever they got. And I've had to help out with more than one flat tire situation, and having a compressor that is just a 12-volt compressor is really, really, really handy. So it saved my butt, it saved my coworkers' butts. It's very nice to have. Also down here we got, probably mentioned the water. We have our jack down there. That's just the stock bottle jack. I never really use it, but it's there in case I need it. And now we're going to talk about like, what else am I going to do to this thing? Well, first, we are going to get different tires at some point. These have been fine, especially for the fact that I got them kind of in a pinch to get those oversized junky ones off. And I am going to go probably a little bit bigger. I probably won't even go as big as 35s. I'm probably going to just go 33s or you know, somewhere in the 34 range metric size ones. And we'll go a little higher quality. These Tundra Ranger ATs, they were fine when I first got them, but they've started to develop a little bit of road noise, a little bit of boom, 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 boom as I'm going down the road. Not that great, but it's only minor annoyance. They handle fine. They handle the off-road, the mud. I've driven them in rain, icy, snowy conditions. They've done as much as you would expect. Also on the exterior, the next thing I'm going to replace really soon is tail lights. This one's kind of busted. It still works, but it's cracked. These are the stock ones. And I'm just going to throw some, I'm leaning towards, well, I'm kind of torn between the Morimoto tail lights and the Alpha Rex Lux, I think is what the model is. Let me know what you guys think. Does anybody have either of those? Do they like them? Do they not like them? Let me know in the comments. And then as far as, the front goes, again, these are stock headlights, which I like just fine, but I want to get some LED lights in there. And I would really, really love to get the Morimoto LEDs for this. Another mod that I've done, which I forgot to mention in this video, in here there is actually a light bar. It is one I've talked about in a previous video. Is one of my favorite mods I've done. I love the way it looks and it's functional. And then I painted this red also. In the future, I'll be having some other red accents on here, but that was just kind of a test for that paint and something fun. So yeah, I'll probably go with the Morimoto headlights. As expensive as they are, I just really, really like them. That's why this is a mostly practical build, but inside here, we are going to do some more stuff. I might expand the battery bank. I'll either go up to the 2000 watt or get the 1000 watt expansion. Haven't decided yet. Or I might go with something completely different than the DJI. I might even build my own custom with a charge controller, inverter, and that sort of thing. But for the convenience, the DJI was the way to go because of the price and because I can actually just take it out and use it elsewhere. I don't have to keep it in the truck. It's not part of a permanent system. A couple other things I'll be getting for comfort in this truck to complement the fridge is a way to cook food. I'm currently looking at either just a basic camp stove, or there's a mini Blackstone that I've got my eye on that looks pretty nice for conveniently cooking, heating up some food. Another thing is I'm a big coffee drinker, so I'm going to be putting something out here that allows me to to pour some shots of espresso or something, because that is just, it's a luxury, not something I need for sure, but something I definitely want. So anyway, that's basically the rundown of my 2014 Tundra build. This is my, as I said, my super stealth survival build. It looks mostly stock. That solar panel is, you wouldn't even really notice it at first glance, especially driving down the road. It doesn't have any of that extra overlandy off-road gear stuff. You know, if I wanted to sleep in this, I could. I'm mostly making this for fun and for comfort, you know, convenience and comfort while at work, because I spend so much time at the quarry, and it just is nice to be able to do all the comfort things. But in a post-apocalyptic fantasy scenario, you know, it could also be useful, even though I don't anticipate ever needing any of that. So let me know if you guys have any questions, any suggestions for what you want to see done to this truck. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.